Welcome back. The Herd is coming up next here on FS1. Let's head over check in with Colin today. Hey, Colin, what's on the show?
The New York Giants completely panicked. This is happening for a lot of different New York teams. A disaster, potentially, as a new head coach for the Giants, who have already whiffed on back-to-back head coaches. That's good news for the Dallas Cowboys, Skip.
Woo! Yep. All right, Colin, looking forward to it. Time for our final topic of the day. In 2 games back with the Seahawks, Marshawn Lynch has carried the ball a total of 18 times and has found the end zone in each game. Now, Pete Carrooll wants to see more beast mode and says that Lynch's role will increase in their divisional matchup against the Packers. So, Shannon, how much impact will Marshawn have against Green Bay?
I don't believe he's going to have much, Skip. He's had 18 carries in 2 games for 41 yards, 2.5 yards, 2.3 a carry in 2 games. He has 2 touchdowns now. That 5-yard TD run against the Eagles reminded you a little bit of old beast mode. But I don't think he's going to have only one of his 18 carries, Skip, is going for 10-plus yards. I don't think he's going to have that big of an impact. Travis Homer has gotten the lion's share of the carries, so I don't believe he'll have that much of an impact. I find it funny now. They want to hand the ball on the goal line to Marshawn Lynch. When it really matters, they didn't want to hand the ball to him. I heard that Chris Collinsworth was really playing that up on.
That's kind of funny. Oh, you heard about it?
I heard
about it.
I wasn't listening, but I heard about it.
All I know is that late in the first half at Philadelphia, the play of the game was the run of the game by Marshawn Lynch. It was only 5 yards, but it felt like a 50-yard beastquake. Am I right?
Yes.
Because he got tackled about 4 times, and he fought his way into the end zone, and it set the tone for Seattle's road win at Philadelphia. And again, he had, 7 yards on 6 carries, but it really didn't matter because the impact of that one run, it just resonated to me through the whole second half. It's the presence that he brings to the locker room and the huddle.
Right.
You say, we got him. You know, he's on our side. He's back. And again, do I expect him to run for 182 yards? I do not. But I do think they should.
They would take 80.
Yeah, they should feed the beast a little more. And I think he's starting to play his way into a little better shape.
Well, Skip, I think they're going to have to feed him more because I think it's going to take more than 17 points in order to beat Green Bay in Green Bay.
Yep, I would agree with that. But could he get 50 or 60 key yards, like tone-setting yards?
That's going to be asking an awful lot.
I don't know. I think he's got it in him. So, and I'm not surprised that Pete Carrooll said we are going to feed him.
To go back, your Mike McCarthy hire looking like Lombardi compared to what the Giants just got.
Oh, that is it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. Right now, Colin tells you why New York is quickly becoming the worst sports city in America. The Herd will be good for Dak.
Skip, I don't see him making that big difference. They're speaking like Dak is Baker Mayfield. He should have went to Cleveland. That's what a big difference could have made because Baker had a substantial regression. Dak has improved every single year. So, look, the West Coast offense, I know this offense played in a number of years. Yes, the ball's coming out. The West Coast system, Skip, is predicated on 1, 2, 3, get the ball out, put it in your receiver's hands. Hence, you see the receivers that can do Jerry Rice within the West Coast, Sterling Sharp, guys that can catch the ball, run with it after the catch, do well in this system. Dak, the coach is not going to make Dak more accurate. Skip, Dak threw the ball. And there are plays that Dak had a 12, 15-yard completion, but if he hits the guy in stride, he gets a 30-yard completion. Therein lies the difference. Dak is just a tick more accuracy. And Dak is fine. But I'm going to tell you who's going to reap the biggest benefit from this offense, Skip. If they listen to me, Blake Jarwin.
Really?
You look at guys in the West Coast offense, you look at the tight end. I'll give you one. Anybody know a guy named George Kittle?
Yes.
He plays in the West Coast. What about Travis Kelce? Shannon Sharp played in that system. Brett Jones played in that system. That system for that Skip, if that guy...
I'm not sure Blake Jarwin is quite as good as they are, but again, he can benefit. I got that.
If he's as athletic as Dak says he is,
he might be the best athlete on the team.
He's a 75, 80 catch guy.
He could be.
Yes.
In moments, in stretches, I see that.
Yes.
I think you saw it.
Yes. I watched him as, what was that, 2018 Skip, the last game against the Giants. He go 3 touchdowns for over 100 yards.
Shannon Jarwin.
I watched him at the Giants this year, right before the half, take a, 30-yard ball.
Yep.
So
then you watch number 82 get most of the snaps, right?
See, there you go. Skip, I ain't got, look. There's a time and a place for everything.
Yep.
I don't believe this was the time or the place for Jason Witten. He wanted to come back. He thought this could be special. Bless his heart. But what?
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
But Skip,
look.
coaching is not going to make a difference with Dak's accuracy. Maybe they can help him, with Dak, you need to go here and there. The ball's going to come out a lot quicker. And maybe he doesn't have to overthink it. But Skip, the guy threw for almost 5,000 yards. He was 30-11. Okay, so maybe you take 2 or 3 of those interceptions away and you add touchdowns. But they make it seem like Dak got to go through wholesale changes, like we talking about, like the kid Baker Mayfield had a regression. No, Dak is not. Dak, like I said, is just a tick. That's the difference between hitting a guy and he has a 12-yard catch or a 30-yard catch and run. That's where Dak. And if he can help Dak with that, okay. But I don't see this wholesale where they got to change Dak mechanics and they got to change his footwork. And Dak is just they make it seem like Dak is a project. Dak is far from a project. Dak's a damn good quarterback. Yeah, I gave him a D this year. I thought he could have did some things better. But
gave him a bunch of F's.
No, I did. I didn't give him. He earned them, Skip.
Oh, okay.
You come to my class, I give you what you earn. I mean, he did.
Up and down.
He did. He did come.
You gave him some time.
He come on he had perfect attendance. So I give you credit for that coming up because it's cold sometimes, and we had some of them Sunday nights you had a tough night. You came to class Monday. But Skip, I believe Mike McCarthy is going to help the Cowboys offense. I just don't see the substantial upgrade where Dak's going to benefit.
By the way, Dak Prescott was second in the NFL in what were deemed catchable passes, so he's pretty accurate. I don't know.
Second.
Just for the record. Now, what is one of the oldest Texas expressions? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I like that.
What's another old Texas expression? Dance with who brung you.
Yeah.
Meaning when you go to the dance, you should dance with who took you to the dance, right? Don't change partners.
Don't change it
just
up?
Stay with who.
It all depends who comes in.
Well, I know.
Seriously.
Okay, both applied to what is about to happen to Dak Prescott because he was not broke, to your point.
Okay.
So why would you try to fix him with a whole new offense?
Right.
This is all new verbiage, all new terminology. He's going to have a rough offseason because everything he learned for 4 years just went right out the window. Every play call is, what?
Right.
You know all these play calls. I'm sure they've sort of translated through the years. They've carried across the NFL through the West Coast. But Dak doesn't know any of this.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he's got to start over. So the preseason games become critical to him.
Right.
He's going to have to start wearing the wristband like, what? He hears it in his ear, and it's like, what? How does what formation goes to that? I don't
If Dak was in his 13th year, Skip, I say a change of offense because they hear first verbiage does wonders. You hear Aaron Rodgers talking about how it relit a fire. You hear guys that's later in their career. Skip, the guy's 5 years in, about to be 5 years in.
Okay, they put up, in some ways, historic numbers, except for the one number that matters the most, 8-8. So I give you 8-8. You could say that needs to be fixed, but I think that was more of a culture problem. This was a soft, underachieving football team in which too many people got paid.
Right.
Zeke, DeMarcus Lawrence, we could go on, Jalen Smith. But in the big picture, the numbers they put up, they led the league in yards gained. It's not all bad.
Right.
Again, did it translate on the scoreboard? But it's still, it's pretty good. And I told you that one stat of they had 7 wins that are of historic note where they had 30-plus points, 400-plus yards, and they won by 10 or more. And they had 7 of those, and it ranked 5th all time back to 1960. Well, there's something really good happening in there against, the rest of that table, down to 15 teams. They all did something like either get to the Super Bowl or the championship game, and this is the only team on the whole list.
Yeah, and most of them won like 11, 12 games.
Correct. Okay, so that didn't translate, but now we're back to Kellen Moore. The news yesterday was that Mike McCarthy is open to keeping Kellen Moore, but Mike McCarthy is going to call the plays. Okay, so you let Dak keep his big brother Kellen, and they're very close, but you've tied his hands. He's not going to have any input. It's
rule.
Mike McCarthy's offense. It's not what Kellen knows.
No, right, exactly.
He didn't come up in it.
Right.
Right,
correct.
So now Ian Rappaport is reporting that he is considering going to the University of Washington, back to his home state, to be the offensive coordinator there.
I would do that.
I would do that.
Yeah,
because what he's just going to be sitting and watching for most of the year.
I don't want no handout.
Yeah,
He's
right.
learning it like that.
He's got one more year on his contract. And one thing about Jerry Jones, he is very frugal. When he owes you, he usually won't fire you.
Right.
You know, like that the whole offensive staff is under contract. So I'm sure he said, Mike, you got to keep a lot of these guys because I don't want to have to
So
pay
he
for nothing.
gonna be like Mike Brown, huh?
Yeah, like that. You know what? Jerry's got Mike Brown. He owns $1 billion yacht, but again, he counts his pennies.
Interesting.
Pinches his pennies. Okay? So I look back at what did Mike McCarthy do in the early 2000s with Aaron Brooks and to a certain extent Jeff Blake in New Orleans. He was pretty good with
They were
them.
bombs away.
Okay, bombs away. Okay, I got it. And that 1 year where they sort of co-started, they made the playoffs and won a playoff game and lost their second round game.
Right.
Okay, not bad. So he did pretty good things with Aaron Brooks. I don't know if he's really Dak Prescott, but the point is,